Okay, guys, for our next lesson today, this is all about forces, the different forces that can be used. Remember, in order to do work, you need a force, a motion, and an object. So now we're going to talk about the different types of forces that occur. Okay, and so think about some of the forces that you already know about. What do we do to cause things to move, to do work? What we're going to do today is we are going to be watching a video about some of the different types of forces. What I want you to do is, while you're watching the video, make a list of some of the forces that they talk about, some of the things that cause objects to move, okay? And then at the end of the video, we'll do a little bit of talking about it, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get started with the video about different types of forces.
Hi, I'm Cassie. Welcome to Real World Science.
Real World Science. Real World Science.
Every day, the world is shaped and changed by forces. Forces set the world in motion. So get ready to move as we explore forces in the real world.
Real World Science. Real World Science. Science in the real world.
Ever wonder what causes things to move faster than a speeding train? Or slower than a tortoise? Or what makes things stay still and not move at all? The word is force. Right at this very moment, forces are at work all around you and me. Forces make it possible to sit in a chair without floating into space or falling into the earth. What is force? Simply stated, force is a push or a pull on an object that causes a change in its motion. Forces are involved in just about everything you do every single day. Every force is either a push or a pull. Pressing a button, closing a drawer, and throwing a snowball are examples of a push, while opening a drawer, unplugging a wire, and lifting a book are examples of a pull. These push and pull forces exist throughout the universe and help to shape and change our world. For example, the moon pulls on the oceans, causing low and high tides. A magnet pulls iron particles towards it, and a nuclear explosion pushes objects out with tremendous power. We'll talk more about that later. First, let's take a look at some kids playing tug of war. Tug of war is an excellent example of a force that is a pull. Now, when a force is exerted on any object, it causes a reaction. In this case, you'll notice that at some points, neither team moves. Why? Well, it's because the force is balanced. When both teams are exerting an equal amount of force, neither team moves. But if one team begins to exert more force than the other, the weaker team gives up ground, and the balance of forces is nullified. Let's repeat those basic concepts one more time. Every force is a push or a pull. All forces are either balanced or unbalanced. Forces make it possible for these cheerleaders to make a pyramid. In order for the pyramid to keep its shape, the forces must remain balanced. All of the people in the pyramid must exert equal amounts of force on each other. If the forces become out of balance, the pyramid will collapse and change shape until the force is balanced again.
Okay, guys, so after watching this video, we know that there are push and pull forces, okay? And so what I want you to do is I want you to think about some of these questions here that we have. This first one, if we're going bowling, I want you to think about what force is allowing the bowling ball to go down the alley. Is that a push force or a pull force? If you said that it was a push force, let me get rid of that here for a second. If you said that it was a push force, you're correct. So when you release the ball from your hand, your arm in your hand, that's a push force, okay? Okay, so let's go to the next one. We're playing tug of war. What kind of force am I using? They talked about that one in the video. For that one, I'm using a pull. Good job. Now this time I'm holding a dictionary out in front of myself. And I'm going to release it from my hands and it falls. So everybody picture that going on right now. I'm holding a dictionary out, a big book in front of me. I release it from my hands and it falls to the ground. So what force is really acting upon the dictionary? Is it a push or a pull force? For this one, it's gravity. And now think about it. Is gravity a push or a pull force? Gravity is going to be a pull force, okay? So even though the force is called gravity, it's also a pull force, okay? The next one, I'm holding a kite. I'm holding onto my kite. It's in the air. What type of force is keeping my kite in the air? What force is holding it there? And if you answered the wind, you're correct. Now I want you to think a little further on this one. Is the wind a push or a pull force? Now, if you said push, you're correct, because it's the wind's current that's actually pushing that kite and keeping it up in the air. If it wasn't there, then we know gravity would pull it and take it down. Okay? And the last one we have. If I'm sitting on top of the slide, I give myself a push, what force is actually keeping me going so that I end up at the bottom of the slide? And if you answered gravity, again, you're correct. And just like on the one before, gravity, that pull force, even though I used a push to get me started, that got my motion going, it's the pull that keeps me going. It's the pull on that inclined plane that keeps me going. Okay? So what we're going to do next, I went a little too far on that one. What we're going to do next is you're going to, we've reached the end of the video, and you're going to answer a few questions about different types of forces. Maybe it's push, pull, gravity, wind, different types of things that keep items in motion. Okay? All right. Thanks.